Well, sometimes don't you just wish God or his angels would come and sit down beside you and just talk things out? Maybe you could ask some questions. Maybe they'd tell you things that are about to happen and you could prepare for them. Well, that's exactly what happened in this week's Torah reading. So welcome to the Shabbat Shalom devotional, when I seek to share just a little inspiration, bring a little peace to the close of your very busy week. This week's Torah reading in synagogues all around the world is Genesis 18, verse 1 through 22, verse 4, and it's called Vayera because it opens up with this in 18:1. The Lord appeared to Abraham. Vayera, the Lord to Abraham. So the Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day. And Abraham looked up and saw 3 men standing by. And then it tells the story how Abraham rushed around to provide that famous Middle Eastern hospitality to these visitors. And when they sit down with Abraham, they asked him, "Where's Sarah?" He said, "Well, she's in the tent." And they said, "Well, we're going to come back next year and Sarah's going to have a son." And Sarah hears this from inside the tent and she laughs. She says, "Really, at my age?" And then the Lord said to Abraham, this is in verse 13, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Will I really have a child now that I am old? Is anything too hard for the Lord?'" Well, the story is critical because God had promised Abraham a nation with a mission to bless the world. And the one thing that Abraham and Sarah had to do to see this prophecy come about, or this promise be fulfilled, or this blessing to become reality, was to have a baby, something that nature said they could not do. But our God is the creator of the universe. Do you think he's bound by the laws of the very universe he created? Of course not. He can do anything he wants. This story is also important because God wanted it clear. This was his people, this was his doing, and that's why it took a miracle for Isaac to be born to Abraham and Sarah. Now, in today's society, it's actually a bad thing to consider one people group or one culture as better than another. And there's actually pushback against the idea of exceptionalism. And that includes being considered that the Jewish people are considered God's chosen people in a way that kind of elevates them. And today's society looks down on that. But God did not line all the peoples of the earth up in a row and say, "Okay, I choose this people group. They're my chosen people. I love them more than all the other people." No, no, no. This story tells us God created that people on behalf of all the other peoples of the world. He created a people that would be his own, and through them, he was going to bless all those other peoples and families of the earth. Isaac was born by a miracle as proof that this was God's doing, and his lineage and his children that were going to carry out his mission in the world. So God's arm is not too short. There's nothing he cannot do. So this weekend, when you take a little Shabbat break, read through the Torah reading for this week and reflect on how great our God is and that he can do whatever he has promised he will do. He's not bound by anything. So with that, I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.